Hello friends, it's Natasha. Grab a single heavy dumbbell. We're going to do 10 reps of 15 exercises and then we'll break it down. Quick warm up, really whatever feels good for you. I'm doing some shoulders and wrists, circles and blinks, rowing those elbows back, and then moving into some hip circles. Come down for some cat-cow. You can place your hands on your quads, round and arch the spine. Exhale, drop into a forward fold. Let the head hang heavy, shake, wiggle, hang, ragdoll up. Lower down into a yogi squat. Take a couple thoracic twists, rotating one elbow and arm up, and then the other side. You can do what feels good again in this to stretch the ankles, the calves, the hips, the inner thighs and groin. Then move up into a squat and stand. Here we go. We're going with 10 snatches. Drive the weight over the head with momentum with a hip thrust. 10 times. I'm going to minimally talk through this, especially as we start to repeat the reps. You can count out or you can just try to follow along as best you can and not really worry about the number here. 10 on the other side. We'll go back and forth, right to left, then we'll keep it all on one side, all on the other, and then we'll cut it way down. You're on the snatches, that weight drives right up the body like a zipper. Back to your starting hand, shoulder presses for 10. Rack the weight, drive the weight over the head. If you need a little momentum, a little push from the hips, go for it. If not, you don't need to do that. It could be a straight shoulder press. Punch that shoulder upward. Switch hands. If you're mirroring me, you're on your right for 10 shoulder presses. Core is braced for all of this work. Change hands, 10 squat to press. Same thing, but we're coming down into the chair and then pressing the weight over the head. Switch hands, squat to press. From rack position, it can tap your shoulder and then up over the shoulder. You're squatting as deep as you can, as deep as it feels comfortable. Weight goes back in the heels. Push that shoulder up. After 10 squat presses, we're moving into windmills. If you're not familiar, it's just like a triangle pose in yoga. So you'll switch hands, rack, push the weight overhead, and take a little tap down. Your toes are pointing in the direction that you are folding to. Your knees can be bent. You're trying to keep your shoulders and ribs stacked as you go down and up. You'll feel the obliques and the shoulder, of course, and a little bit of hamstring on that front leg. Keep that elbow straight up as much as possible. Try not to let the elbow sag. Switch sides, 10 windmills. Right down and up. Bending the knees is a perfect modification if you have tight hamstrings. Moving into swinging lunges. You'll take the weight in your starting hand and lunge that opposite leg back, and then it's kind of like a little bicep curl as you tap forward. Lunge, curl, swing, lunge, curl. Step back, step forward. Opposite hand and foot are going back. 10 times there. And then switch to the other side. Swing back, curl forward, step forward. Get that little sequence. You can always hit pause if you feel a little bit confused and you want to work on the move, and then get 10 reps per side. Trying to make a 90-degree angle in that lunge. Maybe you even tap the back knee to the ground. Weight in one hand for deadlifts. Pop the other heel up. Drive down, flat back, pull up. The arm stays straight. Your weight is more in that standing, supported leg, same side as your heavy weight. Flat back, core braced. Don't let the spine round. Send the hips back, heart forward, and then squeeze the booty and hamstring. Switch to the other side 10 times. More weight is in that foot that's down, same side as the weight. Squeeze the hips forward, glutes, hamstrings. Your range of motion, you don't have to tap the ground. Moving into high pulls. You're gonna tap down and then elbow up, down, up. Use momentum, thrusting the hips forward. Try to get the elbow as your highest point, and you're rowing right up the body. 10 times on your starting hand. If you're mirroring me, left and then right. 10 times on the other side. So heart rate's gonna get high. These are sneaky cardio moves, a lot of them. Great, now we're going into rows. You're gonna lean halfway forward and elbow draws up to rib cage. You can support the other hand on the knee. Continue to row right up to the ribs, elbow the highest point. 10 times there, switch sides. Hand can be supported up on the thigh, and you'll just tap down, squeeze up. You have a nice flat back, braced core. Next one, we're gonna come down to kneeling for kneeling swings. Get your 10 reps or something like it. If you have sensitive knees, go ahead and pad up the knee. You can hit pause. Otherwise, we're taking a kneeling swing. Draw the weight in between the legs, thrust the hips forward. You're only dipping down a few inches, maybe 45 degrees. Thrusting that weight forward from the hips. And that core and glutes, you got it. Switch sides. You can widen your knees so you have more space to swing in the middle. It's just a little swing back, thrust forward. 10 times there. We're gonna slide onto a seated position for some abdominal rolls. Roll down the spine. Your knee that's bent is the same arm that you have the weight in. It's one abdominal roll. Press the hand down and then one hip lift. Kind of like a reverse plank on one hand. Pilates style roll, hip thrust. You can work at your own pace and it doesn't have to be 10 reps. Just do the best you can. Then if you ever repeat it, maybe you can focus on the counting and getting all of them in. First time, you're probably just getting used to the moves. This one gets difficult. Hang in there, and of course you can put the weight down if you're struggling. Rest quickly, switch sides, bend the other knee as you push press. We'll roll down the forearm. You're using that hand as much as you need to assist you, and you got that hand down for the hip thrust. So one roll, one lift hips and lower. Spread those fingers, press the shoulder down, swing the hips up, squeeze the glutes. Tuck the chin so the weight of your neck, your head isn't holding you back. So you'll start with the tucking and the rolling off, and then hips thrust. And again, we're going for 10 of everything, but not necessary to count. Nice work. This is probably your hardest one. So take a moment, and then we're going into Russian twists. Each side counts as one. Just sweep that weight side to side. You can lift the legs and twist them in opposition, or you can ground the feet if you need a modification. 20 singles, 10 sets. We'll be moving on to the back for the next few exercises. Take your weight to one hip, elevate the other leg. 10 bridge thrusts. 10, 9, good. So the foot that's down, you're just putting a weight and holding it there by that hip to add some resistance here. Squeeze. You're going to try to keep that opposite leg up and count to 10. Press the elbows, the shoulders down as much as you need. Switch sides. One knee is lifted, the other foot's down. The weight is assisting on that leg that's down. Bridge thrusts, press down into the shoulders, the traps, the back of the head. Squeeze that lower body to lift. Lift both legs up, weight over shoulders, and start some leg drops, grounding into that low back. Leg lower and lift. You can work on flexibility here as well by trying to hook the weight, the toes on the weight, or just legs can be over the hips if your hamstrings are tight. Continue to drop and lift. The next one will get a little bit harder. Elevate the shoulders and double leg drop 10 times here. Keep the chin tucked forward so gravity doesn't put extra stress on the neck. Ground down through the low back. Pull the pit of the belly down as you lower and lift the legs. You can imagine you're pressing through water. Quick transition, you're going to roll yourself up to standing. The weight can help you get up, and this is the last exercise. It's a plie, side bend, and lift. Plie, shoulder to knee, and stand. Plie, side bend, and drive up. Press into those heels, pry the knees apart, dip, bend, lift, and stand. Keep going with that sequence. We're alternating sides here. That is all 15 exercises. You can take some time to rest here. Drink some water, do any stretches you might need. Next time, we're going to stay on one side for all 10 reps of the 15 exercises. Then we will switch arms. So it might get intense. Maybe have a lighter weight handy, or you can always take breaks. Here we go. Left hand to start. If you're mirroring me, 10 snatches. I'm going to talk less here, so just count out those reps and go. Moving into push presses, 10 reps, or just go as long as I'm going. Squat to press coming up here, squat, push press. Rack the weight at the shoulder, drive up. Moving into windmills, turn your toes, angle your body, side bend and stand. Keep pushing that shoulder up. Swinging lunges, same hand, other leg lunges back, swing back, curl forward, swing back, step, curl. We have 10 deadlifts, high heel on the other foot, drop down, drive up, flat back, strong core, thrust those hips forward. Moving into swinging high pulls, down, swing it up. You can try to touch the ground or just a hanging swing to upright row, elbow high. From high pulls to rows, bent over row. Support the hand on the other quad and then row the weight up by the rib cage, elbow high. Hang, row. Flat back, braced core, belly to spine, activation. Come down to kneeling, swings. Thrust the hips back and forth. Lower to the ground, you have your 10 abdominal rolls into that hip lift. The other hand's there to support you, then press into the hand and lift the hips. Awesome. Russian twists, either with the feet elevated or down. Moving into our bridge thrusts. Weight on one side, lift and lower the hip. Push into that bottom leg, thrust. Squeeze the butt as you lift. Legs up, 10 leg lifts on the same side you're starting with. So if you're mirroring me, you're dropping and lifting the left leg. I'm on the right. You can rest your head on this guy. And then the next one, when we drop both legs down, we're going to elevate the shoulders and head. You don't have to, but see if you can. Shoulders and head up, both legs drop and lift. If you need to, your head can come down.
Cody.
Hi, Cody. Okay, I had to move him out of the way. So we're on our 10 leg lowers, both legs. We'll roll ourselves up when you're done with 10 and do your last exercise, which is the plie side bend, all to that starting side. So gather up momentum, bring the weight forward, shoulders forward, try to stand. Plie, dip, side, and up. So if you're mirroring me, everything was done on the left arm, left side, and then we switch to the right. 10 of everything. Side bend, maybe you get that shoulder to knee, pry the knees apart, get nice and deep in your plie if you can, also known as the sumo squat. Awesome job. Take your time to finish out if you needed to. Otherwise, you can use this time to recover, rest, drink water, towel off, repair, and then get ready for everything on the right hand again if you're mirroring me, or just your second side. All right, here we go. Everything on your right side. Again, if you're mirroring me, or your second side, we start in with those 10 snatches right up the body. If you are taking longer than me and want to get all the reps in, don't worry about it. I'll make sure you have access to the list of exercises that we're going through so you can reference that if you want to just do this in your own time. Moving into 10 push presses. So subtle difference from the push press, mostly just upper body, now squat to press. The range gets bigger, we squat way down, we drive way up. Ten windmills are coming up next. Get your squat to presses in, turn your hips, reach down. Shoulder stays lifted, stack, reach down. You can take the gaze up. I find that helps maintain that stacked shoulder position. Swinging lunges next, or suitcase lunge. Swing back, opposite leg lunges, and little bicep curl step forward. Swing and curl. Step back, step forward. Remember, it's the opposite leg lunging, then you have the weight in the arm you're working with. Sorry about my camera angle. It slipped and my feet are cut off. We're moving into 10 deadlifts. You pop up the opposite heel, flat back, down and up. After your deadlifts, we got high pulls. High pulls, down and up. Use momentum. Your other hand can rest on your thigh, it can stretch out beside you, wherever you feel like it's helpful. Bent over rows. Make your way down to your opposite knee. Our kneeling swings here. If you're mirroring me, everything is in the right hand. Gonna get harder to see me, but I threaded my leg through for my abdominal rolls. Again, you're keeping the weight in the same side for all of these exercises. So if you were mirroring me, you have that right arm up, you're doing your abdominal roll into your hip thrust. That supporting hand, you're using as much as you need to. Lift and lower those hips. So the weight that your hand is in, that knee is bent. The opposite leg is straight, and you're pressing into that arm as much as needed, if that makes sense. It should all feel natural, so do what works for you. That is probably the hardest one to get 10 reps in. So maybe take a moment and then get up for your Russian twists. We have 10, counting each side as 1 rep. So 20 singles. Bridge thrusts. Single leg. If you were mirroring me through this whole thing, you are lifting your left leg. Your weight is on your right hip. Your right foot is down. Leg lowers, same side. Your right leg is dropping and lifting for each one, or whatever leg and side you are working on. Try not to make this too confusing, but when I turn sideways, you can actually tell what leg I'm doing and what side I'm doing. So ground down through that low back, your head gets to rest, leg drop and lift, and then elevate the shoulders and head, both legs drop and lift. You're on your 10 here, followed by the last exercise, the plie side bend, all to one side, the side we are working on. You got this. You'll get a full minute of rest or longer if you'd like. And then we're going to break this down. Roll up to your feet. Here we go. Plie, side bend. Again, if you're mirroring me, you are dipping to your right. Plie, side bend, plie, and rise. Awesome job. Hang in there. Take your minute. Rest, stretch, drink water. Just to prepare you, we are going to go into 2 of each exercise. It's going to move quickly. You've done them all a bunch of times by now. So see if you can just keep the pace, work the pattern here. 2 of each exercise. Here we go. It's easier to mirror me, so start in your left hand. Here we go. 2 snatches. 2 push presses. Squat to press. Windmill. Suitcase swing. Deadlift. Lengthen your arm, flat back and rise. High pulls. 2, 1, row, 2, 1, kneel down, opposite foot you step on and you swing twice through the leg, 2 swings. Now come all the way down onto your back. 2 abdominal rolls into that straight leg hip thrust. Rush. Stay up for your Russian twist. You can keep the weight in your left hand and then just rotate it side to side for 2 reps. Same thing, now lay on your back, 2 bridge thrusts, 2 leg drops, head down. Elevate the shoulders, 2 double leg drops, roll to the feet, plie, side bend to your left, plie, side bend and rise, plie, side bend and rise. You did the left side, we're going right into the right side. 2 snatches, swing it up, thrust it up, 2 push presses, 2 squat to press. Windmills, turn your toes to the left, down and up, side bend. Swinging lunge, opposite foot steps back and curl, step back and curl. Deadlift, flat back and rise, flat back and rise. High pull, swing the elbow to the side. Bent over row, step back and row, 2. Kneel down. Step on the left foot, swing through. Swing 1 and 2 through the middle of your legs. Now thread the foot, come onto your back. We'll press onto the left hand, thrust the hips up and down. Pilates roll, hip swing up and down. Your 4 Russian twists, twist it out for 2 reps. Back and forth. Onto your back, 2 hip thrusts. We have our bridge. Right into leg drops. Drop 1, drop 2, and double leg drops, 2, 1. Gather momentum, roll up to your feet for your plie, side bend. You're going to your right, plie, side bend 2 times. Awesome job. Take a moment again to rest. You can take a downward facing dog, paddle out, maybe some cat-cow. We're gonna do this one more time. Hang in there, you got this. Any stretches here? Now you really are familiar with all the moves. Hopefully we can do this safely, quickly, efficiently, and just rep these out. Again, 2 of everything, one side and then the other. All right, pick it up in your left hand just to mirror me, and here we go. 2 snatches, 2 push presses, 2 squat to press. Turn your toes to the right, windmill down and up for 2. Suitcase swing, opposite leg swings back, curl forward. 2 deadlifts, 2 high pulls, 2 bent over rows. Come down to kneeling, 2 kneeling swings. Come down to seated, come onto your back. 2 abdominal rolls, roll up, hip thrust. Russian twist, turn, come back, turn, come back. Lower down for bridge, hip thrusts. Both feet up, leg drops, drop and lift, double leg lowers. You'll roll yourself up and you have your plie side bend. And rise, plie, side bend to the left and rise. All right, no break. Right hand, 2 snatches. 2 push presses. Squat press. Turn your toes, windmill, lateral bend, suitcase, swing, opposite lunge, curl, deadlifts, down and up, high pull, swing the elbow out, bent over row, 2, 1, do the best you can to follow, swinging, I know it's fast, kneeling swings, come onto your back, that Pilates style roll up the spine, hip thrust. If you know Turkish get-ups, it's like that bottom of the get-up into a hip thrust. Our Russian twist, come back, twist, come back. Bridge thrust, come onto your back. Oh, I missed that one. Oh, here I am, I'm back. Hip thrusts, we have 2 and 1. You got a break there because I got lost myself. Leg drops, alternate 1 and 1, and your doubles, shoulders rise, look forward, swing up to standing. Our plie, side bend to your right, down, plie, up, down, side bend, plie, and up. How did that go? Was that fast and furious? Were you able to keep up? Hopefully, because you had so much time to repeat everything, it was kind of ingrained in your brain and you were able to keep up. If not, maybe try it again another day. I know it was a killer workout. I felt that the next day as well. So here I'm just doing some stretches to release my shoulders, chest expansion, forward fold, downward facing dog, pedal out. Really, it's just up to you. You can stretch as long as you'd like. Recover, take some time to open up the chest, the shoulders, the hips. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment and I will see you on the next video.